everybody. I have this much time to squeeze in a video today, so I'm going to try. I've wanted to make this video for quite some time. This is how I grocery shop and meal plan for 2 weeks at a time. And so I will start with, I guess I'll tell you why I grocery shop for 2 weeks at a time. I was getting so overwhelmed trying to balance so much on my own. My husband's hours are very long. And so I really don't get much help from him, especially during the week. And then with homeschooling, I have about zero time alone to grocery shop. And so it was becoming such a chore to load the kids up, take them to the grocery store, try to meal plan, do all that, put all the groceries away. It was just, so by the day that I would grocery shop, I, just would grab a rotisserie at the store as their meal, or, something, if we go to Sam's Club, grab pizza out the door. And it was becoming a habit where on a weekly basis, I was just so tired that we were just grabbing whatever for dinner, and I was feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. And I thought, why am I not doing this for longer than a week at a time? Like, it had never dawned on me. And as a family, we eat mostly, depending on the time of year. Obviously, it was just Christmas, so that kind of went out the window. But we eat mostly whole foods or organic foods. So I was thinking, there's just no way to shop for 2 weeks at a time because all those things need to be very fresh, and, we try to not get that many shelf-stable foods. And so I thought, well, I'll give it a whirl. I tried it once, and now I am hooked on shopping for 2 weeks at a time. I really can't imagine going back to shopping on a weekly basis. It's just so much easier this way. So the first thing that I do is I just made this really easy chart on Microsoft Word. It's just like 4 rows across and 7 rows or 8 rows down. It's just the breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the day of the week. And the very first thing that I do is I sit down and I fill in our breakfast, lunches, and dinners, because if I don't plan breakfast and I don't plan lunch, I'm just, tempted to go grab something or, throw an easy meal their way, like a box of macaroni or, a peanut butter sandwich, something that is not really that nutritious. So the very first thing that I, do is write down each meal, and I'm realistic. I'm not making Eggs Benedict every day for breakfast, and I'm not making something fancy for lunch. And it's usually just a general idea of what we're going to have. So I'll say, we're having smoothies this day, or we're having omelets this day, but it's not, we are having smoothies with this, and this, that, and that. It's just like smoothies. Okay, I can improvise in the middle of it. And same with lunch. Our typical lunches are a mixture of usually about 3 different things. A packed lunch, so we're going to the park that day, or we have a class that day or something. A mix and match lunch, which is just a lunch tray, and I usually put some yogurt and toppings and cheese, crackers, popcorn, trail mix, some fruits, veggies, things like that. Or a snack board, which I'll put a picture in right here. Snack boards are their favorite. It is just a tray, and I just put a bunch of different fruits and veggies and cheeses or hummus or dips, and they sit together in a circle and they pick off of it for the afternoon. The only rule with the snack board is that they have to at least try one of each thing. So it really gets a wide range of different vitamins and, vegetables and fruits and all that in the snack board. So like I said, when I say we're doing a snack board, I don't say we're doing a snack board with tomatoes and snap peas and hummus and this cheese and that cracker. I just say snack board, and then I know when I'm at the grocery store to buy, a few variation of different things, and in the middle of the day when it's time for lunch, I just pull out the tray and then go through the fridge. Dinners, this would be like my #1 tip for making this easy. I make a meal on Monday and I make a meal on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, we eat Monday's leftovers, and on Thursday, we eat Tuesday's leftovers. That way, I'm cooking Monday, Tuesday. I'm not cooking Wednesday, Thursday. Friday is always our pizza day, and Saturday is we always eat out dinner Saturday or Sunday. So then the other day that week we have some kind of leftovers, whether it be pizza or from when we went out to eat. We always bring stuff home. Sometimes it's breakfast for dinner, but it's very kind of loose because I can't plan exactly how our weekend is going to go. So it's cooking 3 meals, something Monday, something Tuesday, and then homemade pizza on Friday, and then some kind of repeat of those 3 meals. So it's not like we're having the same burgers Monday and burgers Tuesday. It's something Monday, something Tuesday, repeat Wednesday, repeat Thursday. It's like crisscrossing them, so it's a little different sometimes. Okay, and the last thing that I'll say about the actual planning of the meals before I move into the shopping side of things is to use the planner as a minimum. So if you say we're going to have green beans with dinner this particular night, and you're at the grocery store and you see that there's, you know, green beans and, you know, broccoli that you want to grab it. You can always add to your meals while you're doing while you are actually doing the cooking. If, you know, you're cooking some brown rice and you want, because that's on your planner, and you want to switch it up to some kind of quinoa or some, you know, whatever. Just use the planner as a minimum for the days when you're in a brain fog and you need that planner to tell you what to do. But of course, there's always room to add to what you've got written down. So now going into the actual shopping. I shop at 2 stores. I shop at Aldi, or actually 3 stores. I shop at Aldi, which is a 45-minute drive from me, so I really only try to shop there once a month. And I also shop at Sam's Club, which is in my town. So the beginning of the month, I'll go to Aldi, do 2 weeks worth of groceries from there, and I will also grab the things that Aldi has that Sam's Club does not have. You know, some of the things that come in smaller sizes, so steel cut oatmeal, and if the milk is dated later than the milk. Let me think, what else would I get from there that I wouldn't be able to get? Organic animal crackers, all those shelf stable things that I don't, you know, that Sam's Club either doesn't carry or I can't buy or don't want to buy in flats of like 200. I'll get at Aldi. And I've been doing this for a while, so I know what to get at each store that the other store won't carry. So that's the deal with that. So as far as meat goes, I can find grass-fed beef at both stores, so I buy the beef, you know, fresh. Chicken, I find an antibiotic and hormone-free chicken at Sam's Club. And then, so when I'm shopping at Sam's Club, I buy a bunch of it and then I freeze it to use during that time when I'm shopping at Aldi and I cannot find the chicken that I would like to feed the kids. And then the third store I shop at is just a produce stand that carries local produce, orange juice, eggs, and things like that. We get the only other time I'd say we go to any other store is when we are having fish. My husband will just run to the fish market on his way home from work and say, hey, what'd you guys get today? Since we live on the coast, it only makes sense that we're buying our fish and our orange juice because we have a lot of citrus groves here, our eggs because, you know, we have eggs all year here locally. So that is the deal with meat. Produce. So when I'm shopping for 2 weeks at a time, you have to be picky, but it's possible to have fresh produce for the 2 full weeks without needing to run out to the store again. I buy one thing that's ripe and a second thing that is far from ripe. So I'll buy a pineapple that's ready to cut that day, and I will buy a pineapple that looks like it was picked a month too early, and then it'll ripen up throughout the course of the 2 weeks. With bananas, I usually buy one bundle that's ready right away. My kids will like eat it by the time we get home. And then I buy 3 or 4 that are like super green. And with things like bananas, if they like get overripe while they're sitting on the counter, I just chop it up and freeze it, and then we use those for smoothies. So yeah, we buy one that is ripe and ready to go, and one that is unripe. Pretty much with all of the fruits that we buy, vegetables are harder. So for vegetables, if I know that I'm not going to the produce stand for whatever reason on this trip, I will buy a bunch of fresh veggies for the first week, and then I will buy frozen organic vegetables for the second week. So frozen organic corn or green beans or broccoli, I'll buy for the second week. So unfortunately, I haven't quite figured out a plan for the vegetables other than if I know I have time, which is about a 50-50 shot. I will roast or cook or blanch those vegetables while I'm putting my groceries away and freeze them on my own, which I would say would be the better alternative to buying them already frozen. But so if we're going to the produce stand, that's what I do for our vegetables. Things like cucumbers and tomatoes, that's not possible. Avocados, we do freeze, but you cannot unfreeze them and use them like on a salad, but they can go in a smoothie when they're frozen and without, you know, killing off what's good about them. But yeah, they don't thaw out very well. Have a snack plan of action. That is the other thing. If you're not planning your snacks in here, which I chose not to, but I used to, then have a plan of action because your kids are going to want a snack between meals. So what we do is we have a bowl of apples, bananas, and oranges, and they may access that at any time. We also have a jar that has granola bars and Lara bars, things like that, that I'm in charge of, but I will allow them to have on occasion if they ask for it, as long as it's not too close to a meal. So you need to make sure that you're budgeting in a good 2 weeks worth of snacks when you're also doing your grocery shopping. Something I would say is I would just encourage you, because you're shopping for 2 weeks at a time, to grab something new every time you go. Otherwise, you'll get stuck in a routine of the same green beans, broccoli, and salads over and over and over again. Find a fruit or a vegetable that you're not used to, get it, and sometime in the course of that 2 weeks, try it, and you might end up liking it. My kids, just a couple years ago, I was making Brussels sprouts for my husband and I and not making them for my kids, and I ended up getting a double, like a large pack of them, and wouldn't you know, they are my kids' favorite vegetable. They constantly ask me for them. So the more that you can buy the different variety of fruits and vegetables that you can get into them over the course of those 2 weeks, the better. So I would just encourage you to find one thing new and try something new. The other thing, when you're shopping for 2 weeks, things will spoil and you'll forget you had them. So keep up on your fridge. Make it a part of your evening routine when you're loading the dishwasher or when you're wiping down the kitchen counter. So just double check the fridge and check the dates on things. Make sure you don't need to throw something in the freezer. Make sure that you don't need to chop something up and have it ready for a smoothie. Things like that. And then for week two does not just have to be junk. If you don't have the freezer space to store extra bread and extra, you know, bagels or whatever for week 2, it doesn't just have to be junk, but you will have to work just a little bit harder. But working a little harder to make some things for the second week, in my opinion, is still much easier than going to the grocery store for a whole new set of fresh, you know, fresh groceries. So you can do muffins, which you know, it's all stuff you'd have like flour, sugar, whatever. Make muffins, homemade pancakes, waffle, oatmeal, things like that. And then just check the dates when you're at the store. So I'm able to buy a month's worth of milk when we're at the store because the date on the milk that I buy is usually almost a month away from expiration. Pull from the back, do whatever you need to do, check the dates on things. I'm usually able to get like 8 days out of fresh salad greens before the date goes bad, and even then I still check them. So as long as you don't buy salad greens that are good, you know, the date is like 2 days away, you should be able to stretch those through in a little into the second week before, like, I switch to just smoothies and things in replace of the, to replace the salad greens that have gone bad toward the end of a 2-week grocery trip. So yeah, I guess that's that. I would really be interested in hearing what you guys have to say. If you guys shop for 2 weeks at a time, or if you have any suggestions for me, I would be really be open to hearing that. And then last I didn't mention was budget. I was spending, and everybody's budget is different. The way everyone eats, the amount of people in their family, it's all different. But I will say that I don't think I fed my family any differently throughout the course of the last 4 years at least, when I was really introduced to the idea of the 100 days of real food. We've pretty much been eating and cooking the same way since, but I was spending almost double what I'm spending now, and I think it was just visual. I'm at the store, oh, I'm gonna grab this and grab that, and do I have this at home, and just grabbing extra things. And not that we had a lot of things rotting or spoiling, but it was just poor planning. And so shopping for 2 weeks at a time throughout the course of the month, and right now I'm filming a month's worth of groceries, so every time I go to the store this month, I'm taking a video to see what my budget really is, but it's definitely under $600 for the month, and it's usually about $250 per trip, so maybe somewhere near $500 a month, which I think breaks down to being about $125 a week. I was honestly spending over $200 a week on our groceries when I didn't have a very good plan. And so now, yeah, it's about $250 a trip, which is 2 trips within the month. And that includes my produce stand and the grocery store sometimes. Sometimes it's a little more. But for whatever reason, it has cut down on my budget significantly, which is pretty exciting to me. So yeah, that's what I've got to say about that. And if you have anything to add or any questions, please go ahead and comment below, and keep an eye out this week for some more homeschool things. I think I'm going to do a homeschool room tour this week. It's constantly changing, but we'll see. So be ready for that, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.